What's up guys? Today we're doing a timing belt and possibly a water pump change on the 2001 Mazda Protege, the 2-liter engine FSDE model. I have a video prior to this that I made on doing a valve cover gasket. So if you are confused as to how I've got to where I am right now, take a look at that video as a reference. It shows you what connections you need to disconnect and all the bolts you need to take out, and you'll be where I am now. As you can see, I have a broken timing belt. And the symptoms of this were a fast cranking engine, no starting of course, and it just sounded like a consistent ring, almost as if the starter wasn't engaging, but you could hear the engine turning over and you could see these accessory belts moving. So that's what led me to believe that the timing belt was broken. So what you're gonna need to do this, of course, is the new parts, but for the tools, you'll need a basic ratchet kit, such as this, a impact kit or just a large socket kit. I recommend the impact so that you're able to take off the crank bolt, which we're gonna do first actually, and then a jack, a 2x4, a breaker bar, and the gasket kit if you haven't done the gaskets recently. Oh, you'll need jack stands also. But I'm gonna take it apart, inspect everything, see why this timing belt broke, and then I'll figure out from there. So the first step we're gonna do is put the e-brake on, lift the car up with the jack so that I have better access to the crank bolt. And then I'm gonna use my impact to take that crank bolt loose, not all the way off, but loose so I can take it off by hand. You're gonna wanna lift the car just enough to get your jack stand under, nothing more. I'm lifting it from the pinch rail with the rubber so it doesn't hurt the pinch rail. Put it right on the manufacturer's recommendation, which is between these two little divots, and lower it down onto it. The nice thing about this, the way they have the plastic set up, I don't know if yours is the same, but in the wheel well, typically there's no plastic right here. You might have to remove the inner wheel well plastic, but you can turn the wheel and you should have enough room. That's the crank pulley, that's the crank bolt. You'll need a 21mm socket, and of course your impact. Now, we're gonna start on this top end, lower the car back down, and then we'll be putting the jack with the 2x4 to support underneath the engine on the oil pan, unfortunately, but that's the only way we can do it. Lift it up just to where we relieve pressure from this engine mount, and then start taking this engine mount apart and remove it out of our way, and then we can get our accessory belts off easier, and then the timing cover. I need a 17mm socket for these two bolts. Yeah, 14mm for all these bolts down here. All right, now we can take out the engine mount. All right, go ahead and put the bolts back where they belong so you don't forget. Now we can take the accessory belts off. We have two manual tensioners. One tensioner is on the power steering. It's down below here. Right in there, that bolt right there, it's the tightening bolt. So you loosen that, and then you start loosening this bolt right here, and that'll relieve tension on this. And then we'll do the same thing on the alternator back here. There's a bolt right here behind the dipstick, loosen that, and then you go to this one back here, and that'll be the one that relieves tension for that line, and you'll have the accessory belts off. I'm gonna use my 14mm wrench to get the safety bolt tensioner off. Be sure to wear gloves. Loosen this. So you can just pull that through, and then let's go work on the alternator and get the inside one off. All right, this one's a 12mm for the safety bolt. Now we can go ahead and take off the harmonic balancer and take off that nut. It's the crank bolt, and then the crank pulley you should be able to wiggle off. As you can see, there's your crank pulley. Now this is keyed, as you can see the little tooth cut out. That has to, there's only one way for it to go back on, so you'll see. Be sure to clean all this gunk off. Now we can start taking the timing cover off. It's a series of a bunch of 10mm bolts. And as you take these bolts out, be sure you put them in the general layout as they came out, because they are different lengths. So this top timing cover has 4 bolts long one on the top right, bottom left. Take that off, and then you can start going on the bottom one. All right, the lower timing cover has 4 bolts as well. They are all the same length, basically. This one has a bracket on it, and this one comes out, push it down from underneath. Inspect the tensioner and water pump. This is the idler pulley right there. Seems good to me. No wiggle to it. This is the tensioner right here. Put an Allen key in there to see if it is tensioning correctly. To do the water pump, you take these pulley bolts off, and then you'll see the bolts behind it for the pulley or the pump itself. And then basically just take it off, put a new one on with a gasket, and that's that. What I'm gonna do is turn the cam gears independently, see if they are for some reason seized up, but they shouldn't be. All right, so I put my 6mm Allen key into the tensioner. Although that the spring is on there, I apply pressure and I let go and it stays in position. I pull it back, stays in position. That shows that the tensioner is not working correctly. Now, the reason why that went bad is a big question, but you can see that it looks like there might be some rust on the bearing. I'm gonna get to timing the engine. We're gonna align where it has the I stamped in on this cam pulley and the E stamped on this cam pulley, and then there's also a dash cut out of the gear next to those letters. You want to line up those, so I on left, E on right. Line those up to be directly across from each other, and then you'll take the crank pulley and you want that key. There's the key that I talked about before, part of the pulley. You don't want to line that straight up. There's a little mark above it. Well, it's hard to see from where I am, but once you get in there, you'll see it. You can lower the engine, since the engine mounts off, down below to where you can see it from down there, and then it's going to be directly straight up. So I'm going to do that real quick. And to turn the crank pulley, you can use a crescent wrench. You just get it to where it's the same diameter as the shaft, and then that key will catch onto it, and then you can turn it clockwise as well. So you can see I have 2 crescent wrenches on it. That way I can hold them both and line them. So I'm going to put the tensioner pulley on, and I'm going to keep the spring off of it, or keep the spring on the tensioner pulley but not hook it up to that pin right there. And then I'll feed the belt through, get it on the crankshaft, get it close to the spots for putting it on the cams, and then align the cams and push it on. All right, I got the timing belts on and the tensioner on. What I did was get the exhaust side on first. That's because there's no tensioner on it, so I pulled the belt tight against that idler pulley, and then made sure this was lined up and just fed it over. And then I used my crescent wrench to align this one while I fed it over this way. And then I pushed the tensioner out of the way and flipped it onto the tensioner and just pushed everything into position. And then I put the tensioner spring on and preloaded it a little bit just to bring some tension to the belt. Now the process is reversing what we just did. We're gonna put the timing covers back on, all 8 bolts, and then accessory belts on, the engine mount back on, and the valve cover back on. It's pretty straightforward. It's exactly what I showed you before, is taking it off. But if you're still unsure about the valve cover, I have a video, because there's some spots that you need to put some silicone sealant. That video is the valve cover gasket removal and replacement, so I'll link that in there. All right, I got the timing covers on. It was actually easier than getting them off. I just fed the bottom one through the top and pushed it behind, and then the top one fed through on the top. Now I got the crank pulley on. Don't forget to put that washer in there first, and then I put the bolt in just finger tight. So now I'm gonna get the accessory belts on, and then I'll be able to tighten those down a little bit so I can do the crank bolt all the way. The smaller one goes in first, of course. It goes over the water pump, the crank pulley, and the alternator. Do it just so there's minimal play back and forth on the belt. This one goes over. Power steering, AC. Before you tighten those down all the way, we are gonna lower the engine a little bit so we can tighten that crank bolt. The crankshaft main bolt is torqued to 120 foot-pounds. And now we can tighten down these belts. I usually use as it not being able to go past the 90-degree mark with your index finger and thumb. So if you can flip it over, you can see the bottom side from the top. That's way too loose. And then tighten down the lock nut. We had loosened this bolt, so tighten that back up too. Now it's time to put the engine mount back on. Lift the engine just a little bit. Get that extra clearance. All right, now that the engine mount is back on, we're gonna put the valve cover back on. I got everything back together. I got the battery charged up enough to start. I had to cycle the fuel through a little bit, but let's give it an initial first. Running great. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you need any more help, just leave a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with your friends if they need help as well. And be sure to check out our other videos. We have a lot of videos. We have a lot of playlists on project cars, building cars, and as you can see, a whole garage. So, thank you.